Okay.
Russell
always ends off with that hard.
Yeah, that's the punctuation.
It's kind of like in. You guys ever used to watch The Friendly Giant?
Yes. Yeah.
And
He had that
Russell,
little giraffe.
You look up, look way up, and he had that rooster.
The
in
Friendly
bag.
Giant, like what's on the cans of peas?
That's the Green Giant.
Oh.
But he's friendly as well.
What do you think the Green Giant stat block would be? He's a giant,
I bet
obviously.
you would have high strength.
Damn, I say over 100 HP for sure.
He'd be like a giant of nature.
What's his lowest? Charisma? Wisdom?
I picture
Intelligence.
Maybe intelligence.
Intelligence, yeah.
He'd be very wise. He'd be like Tom Bombadil.
Yeah.
You know?
His constitution would be huge because I feel like he's just eating greens all day.
Yeah.
He's super healthy.
Just eating frozen peas. And,
Yeah, frozen peas.
And frozen broccoli.
Damn, the Green Giant.
The Green Giant.
Oh,
But I'm talking about the
Green
Friendly Giant. And yeah, those guys. Imagine Russell being up there like a giant crow. Giant crow. What do you think a giant crow stat block would
Oh,
be?
man, that just makes me think of Little Crow.
Oh, giant crow versus little crow. Little crow.
We just got some good news. Well, we got actually a few pieces of good news, but on a
lot
more
of great
like
news.
personal right from in the circle of Dwarven Moss,
Yes.
right from the Moss circle.
Yeah.
Chris showed up tonight for tonight's Talking Moss, and he said, I have begun to edit the dialogue of our Act 3.
Act 3.
And Act 3 production
Act 3
has
is
begun.
in
Yeah, the Moss train is chugging.
It's chugging along. Oh my god, I just cannot wait. And I'm so glad that we're continuing to do this in the interim. Is continuing to engage with the dear people that engage with us and keep this Talking Moss going, turning
That's
it into
right.
a legit now D&D podcast.
We're doing a D&D podcast now. We're providing content
We want to keep
until
going
the acts come along your way.
until they drop.
Yeah. I think even like, someone in our Discord, I think it was Scrollsy. Maybe it was just Scrolls.
Just scrolls, right? Actually, we have
He was like,
we've got a caller right now.
oh, we
Yes.
got a caller.
Yeah. Let's patch him in. This is it looks like it's just Scrolls who's calling in.
Oh, hey, guys. What's up?
Hey, just Scrolls. How you doing?
Yeah,
Hey, buddy.
what's up?
Hi, guys. I just wanted to say, one of the options you could have.
Another caller here. Sorry, I patched in 2 callers at once.
Oh, no, that was cool.
Sorry, just a sec, just Scrolls. I want to hear what. Sorry, mystery caller. Who are you?
I'm Just Scrolls.
What?
Wait a second.
I
Wait.
just scrolled, man.
One fucking
Yo,
second.
who the fuck are you, bro? Are you just scrolled?
All right, I'm gonna hang up on these guys.
Yeah, me too, man. Hang up. These guys are weird. What did Just Scroll say?
Oh, he said, why don't you guys just do a D&D podcast?
So we listened
You know?
to him,
So we listened to him.
obviously.
Thanks, Scrolls. We hung up on
We
him.
just heard. We hung up on it.
But
we listened.
in writing, we listened, yeah.
100%.
And now is the only question that's left is what is the more indulgent D&D podcast? The podcast where you play D&D or the podcast where you talk about playing D&D?
Oh.
It's tough to say. We could maybe we could spice it up with some guests.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it just so happens that we do have a guest tonight.
Oh, really?
Patch them in.
That's right. I'm gonna bring them in right now.
Yeah. Patch
Come on,
him in.
come on in.
Yeah, bro, it's open.
Okay. Well, here he is.
It's Dungeon Dan.
It's Dungeon Dan.
If you guys in the community know Dungeon Dan, huge influencer,
Well, he taught Dungeon Master Tom everything he knows
Yeah.
about.
everything, and
Yeah,
that's
I don't mean to laugh, Dungeon Dan. I'm sorry.
Tom, everything he knows.
yeah.
Now, Dungeon Dan was a younger man when he taught Tom everything. It was when Tom was just a child. I
It was a
think.
while ago, and your health was much better back then. Are you okay?
Actually, right now, I'm not okay. I've had COVID about 4 times now.
You get Dungeon Dan to roll a little
Quad
bit of
cove.
Constitution save.
That's right. I'm rolling low, boys. Rolling low. But Tom, good to
been rolling
see you.
low.
Good to see you.
Might need a death save.
All right. Don't get touchy.
No.
Let's just keep a nice little distance away. Yes. But Dungeon Dan, the window is open. Dungeon Dan, how do you feel like Dungeons and Dragons in the additions and evolutions? How do you think it's faring, and what the future holds for Dungeons and Dragons?
I think Dungeons and Dragons is really on a downslope.
Could you have a seat, Dungeon Dan?
No, I'd like to stand during this. Can you?
Okay,
can
it's just a little
can
uncomfortable.
Can I stand on this bench?
I suppose. All right.
Be careful.
I think Dungeons and Dragons-
Careful.
Shut up.
Have to
I'm
roll
talking.
in acrobatics.
Hey, can I talk here?
You're the dungeon
Go ahead,
master.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Roll for persuasion.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Here we
Dungeon
go.
Dan's actually giving us
What do you
You
get?
used a big die there.
Wow. Yeah, that's a 14.
Well, what's your persuasion percentile?
I have.
What's the odds on that? The different. We're doing 1E, right? 1E. That's how we learn, Tom.
1E? Yeah.
Tom
Divided
is-
by Thaco plus charisma, carry the dexterity,
You remember?
and
Thomas.
yeah, it's a nat 20.
Thomas, you remembered all my teachings.
I do. I remember all the books you used to force me to read.
Yes.
I remember being hungry, and you're like, "Did you finish it?"
Yes.
I said
It's a
no.
beautiful,
No.
beautiful moment. And,
My heart.
Oh my god.
oh,
My heart.
uh-oh.
It's
Are-
so.
Dungeon Dan,
Dan?
come on. Okay. I
Wow.
think we've lost Dungeon Dan.
Oh,
Well-
that's too bad.
Yeah, hey, Chris, have you just been
I
like...
was just taking a whiz. Too bad. Dungeon, how was it talk? I just move this.
Yeah, you want to
Yeah,
just
just get the body over
around,
Yeah,
you know.
there we
He
go.
had a-
That's the guy who taught you, Tom?
He was a little different back then, but
You don't sound too upset about it.
oh right, yeah, no, yeah, he. Here's the thing, I lent him a lot of my second edition books that I paid a lot of money for, and he kept saying he was just going to borrow them,
He was a crazy old man.
and he
I'm glad he's
never
dead.
gave them back. He moved to the Yukon and never gave them back.
To the Yukon.
He's gone forever.
Yeah,
Dungeon Dan.
I say so be it.
Bring on 6E.
Yeah.
Woo!
The sexy Dungeons and Dragons.
Whoa.
Sexy.
You mean
Sexy.
sex?
Do you think it will get sexier?
Hey, man.
Well, in some ways it is getting quite sexier.
I mean, we've made Dungeons and Dragons pretty sexy.
Yes, we have. We have made Dungeons.
We deserve credit for
I think
that.
our fans would agree, and I'm not being funny, that I think they would agree
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
make Dungeons and Dragons sexy.
Yes.
I think we do. I think there might even be fan fiction that's a little sexy.
Actually,
know,
speaking of fan
That's
fiction,
pretty funny you say that.
we have the author of the fan fiction on the line right now. I'm going to patch them in. Author, please introduce yourself to our audience.
How you doing? How you doing, guys?
Hey, we're doing great.
It's really great to talk to you guys who've been listening to you for a while now.
That's fantastic.
When's Act 3, huh?
It's in
Yeah,
production.
it's
in
coming.
production.
It's
It's
coming.
coming
I know
soon.
it takes you guys a while to make those things. They're great.
It takes a while. Yeah. Now, for those who don't know you, you've been following us for a while. Just
That's right,
introduce
yeah.
yourself. What's your name?
It's,
Where can they follow you?
It's Joel Metellio.
Joel Metellio.
Joel Metellio.
Using his real name, right?
And yeah, well, you know, I trust you guys. It's actually just been great because you guys are speaking to a sensual and sexy part of my lifestyle. So I just take the characters, take the backdrop setting, and I make it even sexier, and take some liberties with some writing. And
That's fantastic. It's a very huge form of flattery. Can I just ask what your lifestyle is? You say it sort of caters to your lifestyle. What is your
so
lifestyle?
I'm a greengrocer by day,
Okay.
and I
You're greengrocer by day.
don't really want to talk about what I do anymore.
Fair
Right.
enough. It's very personal. I understand that.
If it wasn't a podcast, you know, I would.
If it wasn't, hey, if we were just
Hey,
sitting
you're
around,
in the trust tree.
Yeah.
Everything's safe
that's
here.
true.
I know
That's
this.
also true.
I'm aware that the podcast goes out to like hundreds of thousands of fans,
This
right?
is what we said. Yeah, hundreds of thousands. I would say hundreds of millions almost at this point.
Well, even Even more reason for me to keep my big mouth shut, huh? Anyway, gotta go, guys.
I'm taking down my.
Thanks for the writing.
What a
All
guy.
right.
Jay, man,
Yes,
you
yes.
missed it.
Yeah, I was just taking a whiz.
Our guests, we like to kind of think of them as snuffleupaguses, you know what I mean? Like, they appear.
Yeah.
Or Polka Dot Door. Remember Polka Dot Door?
Oh, like the Pokeroo.
That's it.
The Pokeroo.
Oh, like
What do you think
Pokeroo.
the Pokeroo stat block would be? Yo, man, what would Pokeroo stat
Oh my
block
god.
be?
Wow. Well, he definitely has like Pass Without Trace. Yeah, man.
Oh my god.
Guys
yeah.
just
Probably
crushing
sneak attack.
stealth checks.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people would know who Pokeroo is. That's a very Southern Ontario thing.
I think we've referenced the Friendly Giant and the Pokeroo. So we've
yeah.
at least 80% of our listening audience has been cut out of the equation.
You know, I always tried to think of what would the
So we're only down to, yeah.
remember Bonhomme?
Yeah.
From,
Bonhomme de Neige.
Bonhomme de Neige?
Yeah.
What would his stat block be?
Oh, God.
Giant
He's like, he's
snowman.
a snow golem.
I like just thinking of people and going, I wonder what their stat block would be. And then thinking of somebody else.
Yeah, what would like
Just you're just sizing up people at like a really pretentious party.
Yeah.
Who's
like,
that?
what's his stat
What would
block?
John Wick's
Mark Devlin?
Stat block? Yeah, what would John and then what would Bill Gates stat block? What would Monica Lewinsky's stat block be? And what would Viola Davis's stat block be? What would Viola Davis's stat block be? All these performers, these bards. What would
You know what we did before that was fun? When we all made stat blocks for each other in real life. It's like,
That's
hey,
right.
guys, you guys
yeah.
guess on a piece of paper,
Yeah.
independent of each other.
Yeah.
Guess what my stat block is.
That was very
And we
fun.
all guessed each other's stat block within like
one or two
one
points.
or 2 points.
Yeah. That was very fun.
A very fun exercise you could do with your D&D table.
Absolutely,
Hey everyone, what's my stat block?
You know what? That is very helpful to learn the game of D&D because then you think of how you can apply those stats, right? If you're thinking of it in
Absolutely.
real world. Constitution was always one of those elusive ones, and I was like, what is that all about, right? But when you're like, no,
Yeah,
it's-
man, we got to change the Constitution.
We gotta
no,
rewrite
that's
the
a different
Constitution.
thing. That's a
Yeah,
different
yeah, that's
Constitution. That's a Constitution you can't change.
That's constant.
But you can check it.
That's
Yeah,
that's
you can check-
Constitution.
Yeah.
Constitution.
That's Constantine.
That's right.
Constantino. Papa Constantino. My
Quinti-
old
Quentin
landlady,
Constantino.
Great
Mangiarani
director.
Papa Constantino.
Right.
You never forget a name like that. Once that goes in, when you're a young
No.
you're a young person,
Yeah.
you get a nice big complicated name.
Yeah.
You figure it out,
Yeah.
and it's just
I knew a
a
girl
part of you.
in grade 7 and 8, and her last name was Anastasiadis.
Oh,
Whoa.
Anastasiadis.
So she never. I like how she stuck with it and said,
we had
"I'm not
we
going
had
to
a
condense
Polish
this."
friend. We had a Polish friend, Chris
Pospieszynski.
Ooh, say that again?
Pospieszynski.
Pospieszynski.
And I think there's even some nuance on the shin to really.
Ooh.
I remember trying to get it right,
Pospieszynski.
and he was like, "No, it's like a Pospieszynski or something."
It was always a no, even though when you felt like you verbatim repeated exactly what
That's
he
the
said.
way that game
it was
works.
just no. No, that wasn't
That's the
quite
way
it.
that
It's
game works,
Pospieszynski.
yeah.
Is it Pospieszynski? No, it's Pospieszynski.
So
And-
Pospieszynski.
No, Pospieszynski.
Pospieszynski.
Pos.
Pos.
Pa.
Pa.
Zin.
Zin.
Ski.
Ski.
Oh, no.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you
what's
think
what's his stat bar?
Pospieszynski's stat block would be?
Totally. Yeah.
Kickflip +4, probably. For Chris.
Kickflip.
Tony Hawk's.
What
Whoa.
would Tony
You know what I
Hawk's-
just did before you guys got here?
What's that?
I used to skateboard, as you
That's
know,
right.
Tom.
Yeah,
I don't know if you knew
quite
this,
good.
Chris.
Quite good.
When I was a
Jay, I
young
don't
man,
think I ever
very
knew
young
this.
man. Yeah.
He could manual for like over a minute.
I used to be pretty crazy, and I'd jump downstairs and do big gaps and rails
Amazing.
and stuff.
Cool.
And I'd watch these skate videos that I had on
Yeah. As we-
VHS,
Yeah. We all did that in the 90s.
which stands for Vehicular Seduction.
Cylinder.
edit that out. So I watched all these old skateboard videos on YouTube. I found them. I just thought of them, and I hadn't
cool.
thought of them in
Like
so long.
Girl and like.
I
Which ones did
thought
you
of
find?
Birdhouse Untitled. I was like, oh my God, this blue VHS, and I was so into it. I watched it a million times, haven't thought about it in years.
Wow.
So I typed it into YouTube, and I started watching it and just got flooded with all this nostalgia and like
Awesome.
memory.
You know, what I remember from those skate videos was the soundtrack. Those guys
Yeah.
would always put together
It's a good place to find
really,
music.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
the songs
wicked
get in.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Great house stuff, great jungle stuff.
First
great
time I
techno
heard
stuff.
a couple of really big songs, one of them being Cannonball by, who is it? That girl band.
Veruca Salt?
No, it goes boo-doo-doo-doo. Boo-doo-doo-doo.
And the guitar goes.
Oh, okay.
Flash! I'm the last splash.
That was Everglade, wasn't that?
The Breeders.
The Breeders. Sweet.
The Breeders!
The
This guy's
Breeders.
weird!
Gross! Did I tell you guys I got to play Borin with Ed Greenwood,
Okay.
Ed Greenwood.
Wow.
Now,
the creator of the Forgotten Realms?
yes, one of the creators of
That's
the
amazing.
Forgotten Realms.
The entire, what we know as the Forgotten Realms, and what has informed Dungeons and Dragons up to 5e, pretty much.
Was he
lore.
the creator or one of them? How many of them were there?
This is where I might crumble as a Dungeons and Dragons fan, but what I know is Gary Gygax created the name Business Corp of Dungeons and Dragons. Now,
Okay.
when they were looking for
Forgotten
new
Realms.
stories and stuff, but Forgotten Realms, one of the worlds they were trying to expand out to, you know what I mean? Who's got more stuff? This kid named Ed Greenwood from Don Mills, Ontario,
Whoa.
had all these things and stat blocks, actually, and monsters he created for this thing called Dragon Magazine. And they went to this guy, and they went, all right, kid, what do you got? He was like, check this, I got all this. And if you check in that art, and I showed you guys this, which is such a cool find. So looking into that Art and Arcana book, his original, design for the Sword Coast. And there you see Neverwinter.
I have
you
that
see
Art and
Baldur's
Arcana
Gate,
book.
You see
Dude.
Athkatla.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And I
there's
got to
Chalk,
play.
the
I got
islands.
to play D&D with this guy. He was a
He must have loved Borin.
cleric. He loved Borin. Every time I was like, "That's dwarven culture." He was
Did you actually play Born in front of him?
I did, because I was asked to play a bard, but I was like, you know what? I like Borin.
Yeah.
He's got a lot. I was also
course.
playing with Anthony Rapp, who is like a star in and of his own right. He's one of the leads on Star Trek Discovery.
Anthony
He's-
Rapp. Wasn't he in
Jeez.
Dazed and Confused?
He was in
Isn't
Dazed
he
and
like?
Confused. He was in
What?
He was in Rent.
Isn't he the person who really exposed Kevin Spacey too?
Ooh, I don't know.
Wow. Really?
I think Anthony Rapp. Yeah.
He's the guy with the glasses, and he's
Yeah.
hanging out with the red
He,
hair.
had, like, he was sort of like a nerd guy in Dazed and Confused.
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's like,
love that
and then
character.
McConaughey's like, or Wooderson's like, I tell you what, you ought to do. I tell you, you ditch those two losers in the back and get them with me. But that's all right. We'll worry about it some other
We're
time.
in the
Anyway.
loser's car.
We had geography together.
That's right. Slater. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. So what's he like?
An old man talked for hours.
No, wait. I'm Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Let's go to Matthew McConaughey. We have calling in from his home state of Texas. Matthew, how are you, pal?
All right. I heard somebody say on there that they were me. No. I was just saying that in this scenario of attributing us to one of the characters in the movies. All right, I see what you're doing. I see it. It's all good.
Thanks, Matthew. Thanks
just
for
wanted to
calling.
drop
Are you going to run
All
for
right.
president, Mr. McConaughey?
Oh, he just hung up. Sorry.
Wow. We are getting insane guests lately
Yeah.
on Dwarven Moss.
Yep.
And thank God, let's give a round of applause to our
round.
tech specialist
Yes.
who's patching all these in.
Thank you. Benjamin. Thank
Benjamin.
you, Benjamin.
Oh, come on, guys.
No, you're doing a great job, Eddie.
The reason I do tech is because I prefer to be in the background. I don't really, you know, I don't want to show and tell
That's
too
very
much.
humble of you. What you don't know is Benjamin patches all the wires, sets up all the mics.
Yeah, gets the gain levels right.
Gets the gain levels right.
Yeah,
And
I do.
he cleans it all up.
I'm really focused on the knobs. I was my parents growing up had a whole basement full of knobs. and
Okay, Benjamin.
cables and
we got to get back to the podcast.
Well, hold on, the
but
knobs.
thanks
He's
very
talking about
much
these
for.
knobs.
okay.
He's talking about knobs.
I don't want to. Yeah, no, just. All right, thanks, Benjamin.
Let him talk about knobs. Benjamin.
He talks about.
See,
knobs.
who the hell was that guy?
Yeah, it was Benjamin, and
I've never met him. He's normally behind the curtain.
I know.
Did you keep
I
that
like
curtain closed?
I like to keep the
Where were
curtain
you, Tom?
closed.
Yeah. Oh, I was just. I was checking. I'm illegally parked. In a handicap zone. For
you can just say you're
load-
taking a whiz, man.
Oh.
It's okay.
Yeah, you can say it means anything.
Means anything.
Right. Yeah. So.
When I was taking a whiz, I was really taking pictures of my own poop.
Oh, interesting.
But I'm not
What do you
gonna
think
say
the stat block of your
Stat plop?
Yeah, what's the stat plop of your of your ooze there?
Yeah, totally.
it. Totally.
Totally, guys.
So we do have some new D&D coming your way, fans.
Were you almost gonna say fam?
Now we're just looking for shit.
We do have new D&D stuff coming your way.
Oh, yeah, we should talk about that.
Okay, one of the things for real.
Yeah, for real.
For real.
Yeah.
For real,
For real.
we have
Fam.
Yeah.
another live Dungeons and Dragons show.
Oh my God! How did we
Live
forget?
from Toronto, the Fan Expo, August 27th, coming at you.
Fan Expo.
And
3 floors of hardcore fan expoing. Expo. That's right. Cosplayers get in for the regular price.
sexy cosplay.
All those other cosplays, you gotta pay
cosplay.
just the regular price.
Regular cosplay.
Who's gonna be there? People from all around the Nerd Kingdom. Wendell Ulrich. In Hall H, the biggest hall, 1 million people talking to Wendell Ulrich.
This is your favorite PCs coming to play live in the convention center. Your favorite dwarf, Borin Hardanus, is going to be reprising all of his jokes from Act 1 and 2.
Stick around and he might just introduce himself to you.
Dungeon Master Tom takes you through a brand new adventure.
Oh, and he comes back. Oh, you dodged the slash.
This summer.
Oh, give me a death save. Give me a death save.
I'm not gonna make it, Borin!
Your life will be on the line.
Ooh, that's 28 points of damage.
Dwarven Moss at Fan Expo with Jay McCarroll, Chris Siddiqui, and Dungeon Master Tom Hodges.
Featuring all 26 of the X-Men.
Wolverine, Jean Grey, Professor X, Cyclops,
Sexy X.
Nightcrawler,
Psylocke.
Colossus,
Pulverine.
Professor Sex,
Sex Clops.
Gene Sex.
Horse X.
Anyway, the great thing was meeting this old man, hearing about these old stories of the Forgotten Realms. This man who created so much that we know and we play with today.
I would love to
So
ask
amazing.
him. I would love to ask him if there's, what happens if you keep going east? Are there other coasts?
Yeah, I don't know. I've only ever seen a map that just goes. It's
That's it. It's the
More
coast.
land.
I've seen it's the planet of Toral.
What?
oh
really?
right, okay,
Yeah.
right.
I don't know how official it starts gunning it, but the collective communities a world building of the Forgotten Realms does have the whole planet of Toral.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Toral.
Toral. World of Frost Maiden.
Totally, man. I think that's what I really love about just playing D&D, is that there's so much to still be uncovered.
We've only scratched.
Yeah.
Barely even scratched.
It's the game that keeps on giving.
It's a game that keeps on giving.
Keeps
There's a
on going.
movie coming out of it. Come on. Everybody's ripping on the movie. I'm like, you know what? What else we got? We got the game, of course. You know what? Forget the
Yeah,
movie.
I think
let's
I'm
talk
gonna-
about the movie for a second. I've seen a lot of memes doing the whole, I saw one that wrapped it up pretty well, where it's like, the amount of actualies happening in the D&D community right now as another movie ruins one of our hobbies.
Actually,
Yeah. What do you think is the safest attitude to go in seeing that film? I think my attitude is going to be, it may not be great, but if there's enough odes to D&D,
Oh, it's gonna be tons.
I think I'll be satisfied. Yeah.
It's like a game that we'll go to see it together probably.
Yeah.
And then you watch it, and anytime there's like a mention of something that you know, we're just gonna look at each other and cheer.
That's
Yeah.
the
We'll
thing.
make a drinking game out of it or something.
It reminds
Yeah.
me of what we did when we went to go see Mortal Kombat, the
Okay.
movie, as kids, and Reptile appeared, and we were like, "Oh my god, that's Reptile!"
Yeah, he's a rare one.
But this guy appeared as Scorpion, and we went, "Oh my god, Johnny Cage did his thing, and did the splits." So we're gonna go, "Oh my god, there's Misty Step." I think we already clocked a Misty Step.
Yeah,
There's-
yeah. There was a Misty Step.
I think I clocked
I
a
saw that.
Harper's insignia too.
100. Yeah, big time. That little
that's
harp
cool.
or whatever. I saw an owlbear.
Owlbear.
I think it was a snowy owlbear.
That's what people are mostly taking issue with, that a druid can't wild shape into into an owlbear. But
Hey,
I
man,
think
it's homebrew.
under some rules and circumstances you can,
Why can't they?
because it's a monstrosity and not a
Oh.
animal or.
But that's interesting, because in Forgotten Realms it very much seems like an animal. In fact,
I
the
know.
stats between the difference of stats between a bear and an owlbear, I'm going to say, are nothing.
Oh.
I think it really is just a bear.
You know what?
So why is this monstrosity of a bear? I don't know.
Why don't I ask my good buddy Ed Greenwood? Maybe he'll know.
Ooh. Chris's big
Well,
buds with
Chris's
Greenwood
new
now.
friend is really
Why don't I just
bringing a
ask
new
him
light out in Chris.
anything, because I know him and you guys don't, and I sat right beside him.
Well, enjoy it.
Bring him on the pod.
Yeah.
That would be what a gift. Wow, that would be it.
It shouldn't
Here
be
we
a
go.
problem, seeing as how you're
You know
good
what?
friends,
Friends
with
with
him.
him, yeah.
You're right.
Since he
I'm very dear.
seems to
friends
be
with him.
texting you every 5
Absolutely.
minutes.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm going to try my best to get him on this podcast.
Okay.
Let's
Now
be
we got-
throwing down right now.
Now we got a
Throwing down.
D&D pod with
Right?
guests. That is just something else.
Our fans will go wild.
Ooh, I love that idea because there's so many D&D fans, but B, Curse of Strahd fans specifically that we could talk to and their experience. Because like, you know, big shout out. We haven't talked about him in a while, but I like to give JamesRPGart a big shout out.
Oh, we
Because-
should.
We've used
James
his...
RPG has gotten so many shout outs from us.
And this is another huge
true.
one because he has really, I think, given the Curse of Strahd players and DMs a new visual of Barovia.
Oh, big time.
He's really
He's done
laid
it.
down an aesthetic that a lot of people are using his art because it's very vibey, it's very singular, it's very
It's also
purposeful.
incredibly accurate.
Incredibly
to the
accurate.
descriptions.
Absolutely.
And
That's
so when people are looking for that visual aid, like we all found it together almost like independently. Like we all kind of
Yeah.
found it and we're just like, oh yeah, well this is the stuff. Like there's a lot of other stuff, but it's just like, oh no, well just obviously. It was so obvious.
Yeah.
It's like this is exactly what I had in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he uses the descriptions like crazy. If you sub to him on Patreon, he breaks it all down, and he'll
Yeah.
hey, he's reading the book and doing it. So
I want to talk to
I think
him,
I think
man.
yeah, let's get him in here. I think he did change the game. It's obviously it must be his favorite campaign. Certainly his favorite to illustrate.
I wonder, yeah.
Like his repertoire is very Strahd heavy. vastly STRAHD.
He's
He also-
obsessed.
He's obsessed.
Obsessed.
I wanna-
Come on.
We want to hear from you. Who would you like to have on the Dwarven Moss Talking Moss?
Ooh. Who do you think would best suit us as a guest on Dwarven Moss Talking Moss?
Text 0582 with your answer.
Of everyone. Answer now. Call now.
Die. Now.
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 Now. Now.
You know.
Hey now.
You guys ever get that strange feeling of time moving forward where you say, okay, I'm going to say now, and then when I say now, it will be present, and then after it, it'll already be in the past.
Right.
Now.
Now is back then.
But when is back now?
Now. There it goes.
And later will come now.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
gone now.
And then comes now. And is past.
I see you two have traveled into the Time Wizard's lair.
Yes, Time Wizard, we're looking for a way out. We have a podcast
But
to finish.
when will you leave?
Well, that's what we're wondering. If you could just let it...
We tried to leave now, but it was in
Yeah,
the past.
we've been
But
trying
we're
to-
still
yeah.
here.
If you could just let it...
have already left this now.
Right, but how do we get...
Yeah, we're still
We're still here, though.
here. So-
When? Now.
Right. Tom, what do you think this guy's stat block is?
Later,
He's got to
Then-
be...
coming, gone,
yeah, poor constitution, poor intelligence. I think he's suffering dementia.
Kill him.
coming.
Should we kill him?
Later,
I don't think it matters if we kill him now, or should we kill him now or later?
Let's kill him now.
where?
Okay.
Where's when?
Hey, have you ever seen what's over this
Time Wizard?
this cliff?
It's over the cliff. I have seen over the cliff.
Push him. Push him.
When I squares over the cliff. And it's time to go asleep.
It's time to go to bed.
Catch a wink, catch a dream, go to sleep,
Go to sleep.
my pretty thing.
Pretty.
Close your eyes, drift downstream, grasp yourself in the middle of a dream.
When is a dream? When is it now? Then is not gone, 'cause sooner or later it will be now.
When you dream of a dream that your eyes have never seen, and your brain can come between your eyes and dream. When the dream, when you dream. And then you face the music of the Andrew Lloyd Webber's Dwarven Moss.